was doing the set with Akon.
Yeah, that
and
shit
you
was
had
dope.
everybody rolling, bro. It's just your natural ability to just go off the dome and just create these funny moments, man. Me personally, I just want to ask you, like, how did you know when you was funny? Like, what was that moment when you kicked in and said, "Oh no, I could do this on a professional level"?
Man, I remember the exact moment, bruh. We went to see the Kings of Comedy, bruh. And once I left there, I was just like, that's really what I want to do. That inspired me, bro. That Bernie Mac set, just ain't never seen no like that. But that moment is when I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. But I've always been able to make people laugh. Yeah. So, but that moment was a defining moment. Because I had we went probably 30, 40 deep to see that whole bunch of people from my high school. And bro, it was just amazing.
Why do you think they ain't never been like another comedy special quite like that one? Like, the crazy part is, I don't think I ever seen like a DL Hughley set before that, prior to like maybe like Comic View or Def Comedy Jam or something. But when they did that, it really stamped them as like the kings of comedy for whatever reason.
Yeah, because this was at a time where it was before the internet, you know what I'm saying? So they were really selling out arenas and all that just off the word of mouth and, you know, radio spots. Yeah. And flyers and, you know, old school promotion. So that's what really like made it dope. But as far as why they never did it again, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Think about it though, they all went to become like mega superstars after that, working on TVs and movies and radio shows and news spots. So I think everybody just got busy. Bernie Mac started doing a whole lot more TV and movies. Steve Harvey built his radio empire. So everybody who was a part of that was just, they made it dope, so it could have been a lot of different reasons why they didn't do it. Maybe the business wasn't right. Maybe they didn't get the second offer. Yeah. Maybe they walked away. Who knows? It could have been a lot of reasons.
Man, it's crazy too, because you were a part of both Comic View and Def Comedy Jam, right?
Yeah, on the later side, though.
Yeah, but I always wondered, what happened to this? Like, watched Comic View faithfully, bro. Watched Def Comedy Jam. So what made those platforms just go away?
The networks. The networks did. I think it was a lot. I think it's a lot deeper than we'll ever know. You know what I'm saying? Because it was something about comedians going on there, giving political satire, social commentary that was hitting a certain demographic, and I think they kind of just like slowly broke it away. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot to that. But then, you know, BET went through a whole lot of changes and networks and priorities. It's a lot that goes into the business of entertainment. So, especially when it comes to us, they try to like shrink us down to such small platforms and stuff like that.
Do you feel like since your last appearance on Def Comedy Jam and Comic View that comedy has changed, you know, with the Me Too movement and all these isms and do you feel like it's harder to do comedy in like a original way like they did it back then now?
No. I don't think it's harder. I think that you can still say whatever you want to say. You could do whatever you want to do. You just have to be ready for some people to give you some pushback or some social media flack. But you guys do what you got to do, man. I don't think it's harder. I just think that now people are more like aware of the consequences of things you say. Because people used to just be able to say whatever they want to say, and then whoever got mad, you didn't never have to hear who got mad.
Wait, but do you not think, what was that one black dude that said the most crazy on stage? It was super wild.
Hey, what's up, it's your man Karlous Miller. Look, if you made it this far into the interview, you're too far to turn back now. You might as well keep watching and subscribe to Reallyfe Street Star. Bring me one.
Even black people got offended. I can't remember the Nah, it wasn't Corey Holcomb. He's wild.
I know you're talking about. David
Lucas
Lucas talking about the George Floyd.
Yeah, he was talking about the George Floyd. So do you?
That's my homie. I was one of the people who like was around when he first started doing comedy. Oh shit. But I can't blame him because I mean I look at the crowd of people that he be around, and that's the type of humor that he do, like the Jeff Ross and all that. They do shock value type comedy.
But what's wrong with that though?
I mean,
Do you think
Some people, that's the only type of comedy. It's just a genre of comedy, like shock value. They much rather make the crowd groan than laugh and be like, oh, I got one. They hate that one. Some comedians, they strive for that. So I don't think it's the end of the world. I just think it's a niche market and people like what they like.
Now, you know, you are part of one of the most legendary shows, Wildin' Out. You know what I'm saying? And you've been there from the jump.
Not from the jump. I came in on season 5.
Okay.
So it was actually like, well, I guess you could say it was 2 different versions of Wildin' Out. Because you got season 1 through 4 with the OG cast members like D-Ray and Spanky and Corey and Leonard and Naima and Mikey and Kat and all them guys and Afion. You don't want to leave him out. It was a lot of them from that first Wildin' Out.
Right.
So that's what made it like, that's why it took us a while to like, for the new cast to catch on. You get what I'm saying? So.
But I feel like when y'all came in, y'all brought a whole different type of vibe.
Absolutely. We changed that whole show and took it to another level because a lot of that stuff they were never doing, you know what I'm saying? They had certain little hits and certain little games, but it's like, we probably did maybe 100 different games on there and brought them all to life. And like some of that stuff that you see on the show, we only did one time. Yeah, like it only made it for one episode. And sometimes we'll sit around and we'll be talking around the games with the producers and they'll be like, oh, we forgot about that. So yeah, it definitely changed when we got there. I think because they had more improv and they had a better mix because they added battle rappers, they added just like social media, they added stand-up comedians, so it was just a different mix and they had more cast members.
What's your favorite episode of Wildin' Out?
My favorite episode of Wildin' Out?
And it's a whole lot of them.
Damn, bro.
It's a whole lot of them.
Man, we done did a couple hundred of them at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's moments though. I got a lot of favorite moments.
Give me one of those moments.
Yeah. Some of our like personal favorite moments ain't even moments that was big on TV, bro. We was just talking about one. We had this cast member. He was on maybe like 3 seasons. His name Royce. Shout out to Royce. And he was singing this song to Emmanuel Hudson, and he was like, Emmanuel, and then he did it like a 90s R&B, and he was like, your face looks like a Georgia Bulldog. Everybody in there was just like dying laughing, because it was like, he wasn't one of the most popular ones, but he always made us laugh, and like, if I ever had to bring a cast member back, it'd definitely be Royce. But we had little moments like that, bro. So, you know, personal favorites. Sharon, he was doing a battle rap. He told somebody, he said, he told somebody, like, you such a pussy, Donald Trump will grab you by the face or something.
God damn.
Man, some of that shit be, it's just the moments be so much bigger, like, while you there. The Azalea Banks, that was one of my favorite moments. That whole day was crazy. Jocelyn Hernandez came on there one day. It was crazy, just like behind the scenes. So I have a lot of moments on Wildin' Out that are my personal favorites. If you ask any cast member, they always gonna tell you something different. Yeah. Cause it's like, we there. It ain't the that you see on TV. That's a whole nother show.
Can you give us one of those stories that happened behind the scenes? You know what I mean?
I want to know what happened with that Azalea Banks, because she's just a wild character.
You know what's crazy about that though? Is before we shot that show with her, everybody thought she was gonna be cool because she wasn't acting like that. Like in the green room, she was cool. She was with the shit. And then I guess she heard something that triggered her. Then she tried to go back and forth with DC, of all people to get smoked with. You picked him? Girl, you crazy as hell. But that show right there, man, what they don't show you is it took us about almost 2 hours between that one game and like going into, like that episode took a long time to shoot because she was very difficult after that.
Damn.
Yeah, she cried. It was crazy. But she went online and talked so much about everybody on that show.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Real life. It ain't real life. Just ain't real. Real life.
3 Starz. Know what time it is.